You ever have one of those days where you wake up just trying to help somebody and by sundown your whole life's changed? Yeah, that was me. And let me tell you, if you'd told me I'd see a woman on her knees sobbing by a storm drain because of me, I'd have laughed right in your face. But sometimes life's got a way of making sure people get what they truly deserve, even if it takes a few sharp turns and a whole lot of neighborhood drama to get there. So picture this. A Tuesday morning in October, sky's gray breeze off the lake leaves stuck to your boots, and I'm just fixing up a neighbor's roof like I've done a dozen times before. Isabel Rodriguez, 3 doors down, single mom, working 2 jobs, comes knocking near tears because her roof's leaking right into her little girl's bedroom. I'm 68, retired, got nothing but time and a stubborn habit of helping folks when I can. Especially after losing my wife, Grace, it's what keeps the house from feeling empty. So I'm up there patching shingles, feeling useful, when suddenly click, click, click heels across pavement, and here comes Regina Blackwell, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, decked out in designer everything and an attitude that'd freeze a bonfire. She's glaring up at me like I'm a raccoon on her roof. "Excuse me," she hollers. "What do you think you're doing up there all drippy with that old money condescension?" Next thing I know, she's demanding permits, licenses, insurance, like I'm running an illegal chop shop. And when I try explaining I'm just helping Isabel out, she's not hearing a word. I hand her my ID, hoping that's enough big mistake. Regina looks at it like I handed her a dead fish, then out of nowhere flings it straight into the storm drain. Gone. My ID, my dignity, all with that hollow clink of plastic on metal. And would you believe it? She whips out her phone and calls 911, telling them there's a suspicious contractor trespassing, acting hostile. I'm standing there, old, tired, confused, while this woman acts like I'm some threat to her precious lakefront community. Within minutes, cops roll up, and before I know it, I'm in handcuffs in front of my neighbors, people watching from their porches like it's free cable. Regina spins her story, paints herself as the frightened homeowner. Me, I'm the dangerous stranger who couldn't even prove who he was. But the universe throws me a lifeline. Isabel rushes out, voice shaking but fierce, tells the truth, and after a tense half hour, the officers let me go. Regina's got that smug grin, thinking she's put me in my place, not knowing she just picked the worst possible person to humiliate. Let me back up a sec. Most folks around here know me as Mr. Nate, the guy who fixes things, but what they don't know, what Regina definitely didn't know, is that I still hold the keys to Sterling Capital Group, the company that pretty much bankrolls half the developments in this county. And one call from me could pull the rug right out from under Blackwell Holdings, Regina's family's empire. She thought I was nobody. She was dead wrong. First thing I do when I get home is call Declan Murphy, my lawyer, and one of the only people who really gets me. He's got a personal beef with bullies. His family lost their house to HOA harassment when he was a kid. So he comes over legal pad in hand, hungry for payback. And just as we're piecing everything together, Isabel calls again. Shaky voice tells me her 911 call had been recorded by accident. Every word, including Regina's lies and the sound of my ID hitting the drain, is saved. Declan's eyes light up like it's Christmas morning. "That's a smoking gun," he mutters, and I know we're about to raise hell. But the more I ask around, the uglier it gets. Turns out Regina's been running a campaign of harassment for years. Elderly, fined for hoses, families cited for cultural incompatibility, single parents hit with penalties they can't afford. Not a coincidence. Every target was either struggling elderly or a minority. My blood's boiling. This isn't about community standards. It's about pushing out everyone she doesn't like. Then Regina doubles down, shows up at Isabel's house with some suit, slaps her with a $4,000 fine for paint violations, threatens legal action. That's when I realize she's escalating, trying to scare the rest of the block into submission. What she doesn't get is with every threat, she's just handing us more evidence for the legal cannon Declan's about to fire. And here's the twist. Declan digs into Blackwell Holdings and finds out they're teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, propped up by loans from, you guessed it, Sterling Capital Group. Turns out I'm not just her neighbor. I'm the guy who could wipe out her entire fortune with a signature. Declan finds more my house thanks to an old boundary dispute, isn't even under HOA jurisdiction. Every fine, every threat, every violation Regina slapped on me completely illegal. Declan's got spreadsheets showing systematic targeting of minorities and seniors, and we've got that 911 call as proof. Meanwhile, word gets around about who I really am. Regina's private investigator spills the beans, and suddenly Regina's not swaggering anymore. She shows up at my door, lawyer in tow, trying to play nice, but it's too late. I lay out the evidence, financial docs, discrimination proof, that 911 recording, and watch her face drain of all color. You've got weeks to think about what you've done, I say. Then we'll talk terms. Declan files a federal civil rights lawsuit, systematic harassment, abuse of authority, the whole 9 yards. News spreads. Neighbors who used to whisper now speak up on camera. Mrs. Patterson about her hoes, the Johnsons, about the birthday fines, the Martinez family, about their Dia de los Muertos altar. And all the while, Regina's scrambling, calling the police on me for everything from hammering at noon to flowers too close to the sidewalk. Cops get tired of it fast, warn her that false reports are crimes too. At the next HOA meeting, the community finally grows a spine, votes her out by a landslide, 89% against. People line up, one by one, telling stories of her cruelty. An elderly man fined for grandkids' bikes, a disabled vet cited for a ramp, a young mom harassed for speaking Spanish. Regina, once the terror of the block, is now just a punchline. But she still can't let go, shows up on my driveway at dawn, screams about how I'm destroying her family. Then in a final meltdown, she sneaks onto my property, vandalizes my shop, smashes Isabel's daughter's handmade sign. This time the cops take her away in handcuffs. No neighbors cheering, just windows closing in disgust. Now the lawsuits pile up: federal discrimination, vandalism, false police reports, you name it. Her lawyer jumps ship. The country club kicks her out. Private school suggests her kids might be happier elsewhere. Even her family starts backing away. Movers cart off the luxury furniture. Regina's screaming at the world as it all slips away. And just when it looks like it can't get worse, I get the call. Sterling Capital's pulling the loans. Regina's handed a 90-day notice to pay up $300 million or lose everything. She shows up at my door late at night, mascara running, voice cracked, begging for mercy, not for herself, but for her kids. Here's where you'd think I'd crush her, right? But I saw something in her I'd never seen before. Real remorse. Not the fake kind, but the desperate, ugly, raw kind. And standing there, looking at her broken, humiliated, nothing left, I remembered Grace's voice asking me, "What kind of man do you want to be?" So I gave Regina a choice: total destruction or a shot at redemption. She'd have to apologize on camera to every family she'd wronged, pay back all the bogus fines with interest, put in 500 hours of community service, never hold HOA office again, and check in with Declan every month. If she did all that genuinely, I'd restructure the debt so her kids kept their home. If not, the hammer drops. To everyone's surprise, Regina goes through with it: public apology, paying back neighbors, mowing yards, scrubbing graffiti, helping at the food pantry. The neighborhood is skeptical at first, but slowly people see she's different. Even Isabel forgives her, says, if folks can't change, then what's the point? 6 months later, when a water main bursts, flooding half the block, Regina's out there, knee-deep in muck, carrying Mrs. Patterson to safety, organizing supplies, helping families rebuild, including the Martinez family she'd once fined. At the summer barbecue, she's just another neighbor pouring lemonade, laughing with her kids. Her daughter even introduces her as my mom, the one who helps everyone. Word spreads. Property values go up. New families move in. And the city council invites our neighborhood to share how we turned HOA tyranny into community strength. Regina even speaks at events about the dangers of unchecked power and the possibility of redemption. By the end, the storm drain where Regina tossed my ID is now surrounded by a garden. She planted kids running around, neighbors chatting. It's a symbol that even the ugliest moments can turn into something good if folks are willing to change. So yeah, sometimes the real victory isn't crushing your enemy, it's helping them become somebody worth forgiving. Real power. It's not about being feared, it's about knowing when to lift someone up. Tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? Is forgiveness power Or is justice best served cold? Drop your take below. And if this hits you, smash that like, share your own story, and let's keep this conversation rolling.